Hey everybody, what's your favorite body part to cook food on? Welcome to Respawn Aim Fire, Kick-Ass Reverent Gaming Podcast from RAF Idiots. I'm one of your hosts, Adam. I've got things to talk about, Gumbert, and today we have with us Chad. He said a hot word a second ago. Michael,
I love putting a little dumpling in your armpit and just letting it slowly heat up.
Steam it up. We also have with us.
Actually,
Alex
no, hold
Casino.
on. I have a real answer for this. When you're driving and you stop at a gas station and you don't want to get like candy, so you get a Quest protein bar, but Quest protein bars are notoriously like really tough. And so you're driving and you put it right where your taint is and you just let it warm up for about 10 minutes while you drive, and then you take it out and it's as soft as a baby's bottom.
Pro tip. Alex, what's your weird food thing? Cozina.
I gotta be honest, I was not expecting you to introduce me that way. What's my weird food thing? You know, something that I used to do a lot in elementary school that I don't really do anymore, in fact, I don't think I've done it in years, is I used to take like sandwiches with like cheese slices and mortadella inside them, or like whatever meat of the week was inside them, and I used to dip them in applesauce. Used to do that a lot in elementary school. Don't really do that anymore.
They should have had you committed. You can catch us live on twitch.tv/AffleIdiot Sunday evenings, 8:30 Eastern. YouTube and podcast service is 9 a.m. I looked down at the clock and was like, what time is it actually? Before we get to our show.
Hold on. Before we get to what Adam was about to talk about what we were going to get to before we got to our show, we are actually joined by a fourth very special guest this evening. This
Who is it?
Is a relatively newly released Mario Lego set. I'm holding it at this length just so I can see. It's Dixie Kong's Jungle Jam. This is part of the Donkey Kong expansion series of Mario Lego sets.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, a little bit of quick background. I started collecting those Mario sets when they first started releasing them because I like Lego, I like Mario. It seemed like a match made in heaven. What I found very quickly is that those Lego sets take up a lot of space for their price. Like, each individual set costs between like 10 and 30 Canadian dollars. They tend to take up a lot of space. And so I stopped collecting them after a certain point because I just didn't have the square footage in my house to house all of them. But when I saw that they were releasing this Dixie Kong set, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get that one just as like my final closure on the Mario kind of Lego set collection I'm building here, because I really liked Donkey Kong Country 2 and 3, and also 1 as well back in the day, but 2 and 3 specifically because those games starred Dixie Kong. Before the podcast, Chad, you were asking, does this feature any of the music of the Donkey Kong series? It's a little bit hard to see, but while this isn't a musical set, you do have Dixie Kong's little guitar that she plays. All we can see is
the Koopa or the parrot. Can you move it? Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, it's her little rock out guitar.
So I will slowly but surely begin building this set over the course of the podcast, because to be totally honest, I don't feel like I have a whole lot to talk about. I'll have some stuff to talk about when we get to the Nintendo Direct, but in terms of things going on this week, not that much, as we'll get into it. So yeah, if this actually turns out, by the way, to be very noisy and disruptive, I will stop. But
just
until then,
whenever you're building.
Until then,
you ever think about how the creators of Donkey Kong and all of its characters were just like really dirty? Just like Donkey Kong. Dixie, like she wants to see
well,
dicks.
you know,
Diddy Kong, like diddling. Cranky Kong, just cranking it. Cranky Kong.
Chad, if you remember, I believe we had an episode of Rafferty where we went over the origins of Donkey Kong. The reason why he's called Donkey Kong is because Shigeru Miyamoto was like, I want to use a synonym for like an idiot or like a fool in English. And I'm like, oh, donkey. Donkey's like a synonym for like an idiot. And so he became Donkey Kong.
Right.
How do you explain the diddling part?
Yeah, you explain Diddly Kong and Dixie Kong and Cranky Kong.
Did he? I mean, Cranky Kong, he's like an old dude. Dixie Kong, I don't know. He's like a teen. He's a rude teen, and he, you know, skeeting all around the yard. Dixie Kong, I have no idea, honestly.
Skeeting around the yard. Okay, yeah, Twitch TV upcoming. We've got showcases to talk about and a new segment. But before we get to that, while Cozy puts together his Legos, Chad.
Yeah.
What
Did you
is your
Did you
favorite?
just pull a hair out of there?
I don't really know what this is.
It's a
I'm-
vine
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
Okay.
or a net.
Yeah.
Chad,
Yeah.
tell us. I'm sure you've talked about it on the podcast before, but your favorite Switch memory, your first Switch memory. That's what the prompt was, right?
Oh, yeah, that we put out on
old
Twitter. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this is the first time I played a Switch. And yes, I think that's correct. Holden got his Switch. I think I got mine the same day. But we went to Chipotle for lunch, and we played Snipper Clips in tabletop mode using little sideways Joy-Cons, playing Snipper Clips, and that was the first time I played the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah. Also, first game I ever played was Snipper Clips. I was at PAX East 2017.
I have not thought about that game for at least 3 years until today.
Nobody has. No, I was in line at PAX East waiting to go into a panel, and the guy next to me was like, I've got this new Switch thing. I'm like, I've never played it. What do you got? And he pulled out Snipper Clips. And then we got to sit second row behind Giant Bomb Wrestling. So that was fun. I think John Drake tore his Achilles in that panel. That was pretty fun.
Oh, God. Damn, that's disgusting.
Somebody tore their Achilles. I think it was John Drake. Maybe. Anyways, Alex, you?
By the way, real quick, if it seems
goes.
like I'm looking down at my phone, it's because I am looking down at my phone because you have to, you can't see it very well. The instructions for this set are only on the Lego Mario app, which I'd completely forgotten about. So,
Kids today and their fucking screens.
Yeah.
Can't even build a Lego set like we did back in the war.
Back in the war, huh?
Yeah. Alex, what's your first Switch memory?
My first Switch memory. So I was actually very lucky. When just before the Switch came out, I was actually living in Japan, and I actually got to go to the big event that Nintendo held at Makuhari Mess, which it's like a big convention center in Tokyo where like a lot of like big Tokyo-based conventions are held. Comic-Con, which is like a like graphic novel and manga convention, is held there every year. In any case, shortly after the like Nintendo Switch presentation that Nintendo held in early 2017, they had a big event at that space where they showed off a bunch of Switch games well before they were set to release. One of those games on display was The Legend of Zelda, the Breath of the Wild. Ugh. And I actually got to play that a little bit early. It was only like a 30-minute demo, and I didn't really, manage to do much in it, but it was pretty cool at the time. And I actually did see Snipper Clips being previewed there because that was one of the games that they showed off early on. The one big defining memory that I had from that event was they also were showing off 1-2 Switch, and they had like a bunch of American actors. It was this weird situation where like each individual minigame in 1-2 Switch had its own like cubicle booth where it was being previewed, and in each cubicle the person who was like manning the booth was like a crazy like American actor in like a costume. So like for the one mini game where you're like milking the cow, you had like a cowboy dressed up.
Fucking dirty like, Nintendo.
Straight up just doing like weird like cowboy movements. And then there was like the other one where it's like you're eating a lot of food, and like every now and then the guy manning that booth would like turn to face like all the onlookers on the other side of the booth and would be like straight up that movement. So that was pretty exceptional. I got the Switch, just very quick, I actually got the Switch in, I want to say maybe April of that year, and me actually getting the Switch was kind of a disappointing moment because I got Breath of the Wild and I realized I wasn't really connecting with it, and that was kind of that. But obviously that turned around later, but that's, a story that viewers of the podcast are already familiar with. Yeah,
Breath of the Wild sucks. Everyone knows it. Shout out before we move on to anything. Suck. Jacob McCord in the chat. Woo! What's up? First time chat. Also,
hey!
I just finished listening. I know we mentioned this last week, but it's worth mentioning again. Adam went to PAX West, baby. And all that content is now either up as you're listening to this, or it is going up on Thursday. So like the GBA panel is up, the trivia, all that fun stuff that they did over there at Left Behind Game Club, crossplay conversations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Go listen.
There's a lot of podcasts
it's
going
great.
up.
So many. Giant Bomb, Big Mom. You ever do you have Channel 9 News?
No.
Over there in Kentucky. Oh, no, that was the biggest insult. In Charlotte, North Carolina, we had Channel 9 News, and their slogan was covering the Carolinas. And that was a big your mom joke. Like, your mom's so fat, she was on Channel 9 News covering the Carolinas.
Because she's big. Before we move on, by the way, there is a leagueofheels.com paxamania3.html. Looks like a website made through MySpace in 2006. Yes, John Drake was the one who was injured playing the character of Johnny Casanova. So that's a throwback if you want to go visit that website.
I just somebody tearing their Achilles tendon just makes me want to throw up.
Yeah, it was rough. We're going to move on to our main quest, though.
Yeah.
Things that happen mainly. Nintendo Direct. Basically, like I said, we've got a couple showcases and not much else, but here we are. Nintendo Direct had a showcase. They're going to show us what's left on the Nintendo Switch, we assume. You know, I love how they announced it as like, these are things coming out this year and this winter, and then there was things like it's coming out next summer. Because
I feel like the way that they advertised it was things coming out this winter. Did they explicitly say 2023, or am I mistaken on that?
They said winter, but then there's stuff that comes out in the summer.
Yeah.
Right.
Of next year.
Well, summer Australia is winter America.
That's
you
true.
go.
And vice
It
versa.
all works out.
So we do breakdowns for showcases where I've got, basically for me, there was more stuff that was interesting than those we're talking about. So I got some stuff. If it's interesting, jump in and talk about it. If not, we can move on. Paper Mario, 1,000 Year Door HD announced, a remake of the acclaimed RPG by Intelligent Systems. Is this the
This is the
is this the GameCube one?
Jesus, that was a mighty burp. Yes, this is the GameCube one. It goes Paper Mario on the Nintendo 64, then Paper Mario the 1,000 Year Door on the GameCube, Super Paper Mario on the Wii, Paper Mario Successor on the 3DS, Paper Mario Color Splash on the Wii U, and Paper Mario the Origami King on the Switch.
Okay, does this one do anything for you?
So I have an interesting relationship with this game. Back in the day, as you all know, I was very much into the Wii. And being a fan of the Wii back in the day meant having to defend a lot of your preferences in games from Nintendo fans that did not like the Wii, that tended to champion the GameCube more. I felt that especially whenever I would like express my love for Twilight Princess, because people would always be like, oh, Wind Waker on the GameCube is so much better. I felt that especially when I would talk about my love of Brawl, because people were like, oh, Melee on the GameCube was so much better. And I also kind of felt it when it came to the Paper Mario games. I really like Super Paper Mario on the Wii, but it was hard during that period of time not to go on the internet and not have people talking about how much they loved Paper Mario 1,000 Year Door, and now the Paper Mario games of late were just not really up to snuff. And so I kind of developed a bit of a kind of hateful-ish relationship towards 1,000 Year Door, having not even played it. And when I eventually got a secondhand copy of 1,000 Year Door and jumped into it, like, I kind of, because I'd kind of whipped myself up into this idea of not liking it, I found it very difficult to just sort of like actively go with the flow and enjoy it. And I ended up actually stopping. I stopped playing it like maybe like 3/4 of the way through. Looking back on that whole situation in retrospect, like, as much as I love Super Paper Mario on the Wii, 1,000 Year Door is definitely the better game all around. And like, I am very much looking forward to this re-release, because this will be an opportunity for me to finally be able to play this game without the blinders that I kind of put on myself during the Wii era, without this kind of hate for the GameCube and my irrational need to defend the Wii. And so I'm really looking forward to it.
The only Paper Mario I've ever played is the Office Supplies one that came out on Nintendo Switch, where you just like fight a stapler in a pencil box.
Yeah,
And
the Origami King.
those are not false statements. But anytime I hear people talk about Paper Mario, they're always diddling their Donkey Kongs over here out talking about 1,000 Year Door. That's the one they love. Oh, that's the best one. Oh, and like nobody fucking bought a GameCube, so we know half of y'all are lying. All right, that's it. That's my Paper Mario.
Very cool.
But,
Interesting.
yeah,
I will say, you know, like, the last game that closes out a Nintendo Direct is always key, because oftentimes it can make or break the Direct in question. If it's been a great Direct up until that point, but it's kind of a lousy final game, like, people will come away from it being like, man, that Direct presentation was bad. And like, I got to give props to Nintendo. Like, there's only one game that they could have closed out a Direct with that is not a new game, but not even a remake of an old game, but just a remaster of an old game. and it's this one. Like, this is the only remaster of an old game that they could have closed at a direct with that people could have walked away from being like, oh man, that was pretty good. And they did the thing. So shout out to them.
All right. Next up, Mario vs. Donkey Kong Remake. Yeah, Mario vs. Donkey Kong Remake is coming to Nintendo Switch on February 16th, 2024.
Day before my
It's a
birthday.
remake. There you go. It is a remake of the original game that was released in 2004 for the GBA. The reveal trailer not only showed off gameplay, but confirmed a local co-op as well. This is the one where you wind them up and the toys fight each other, right?
No, this is the puzzle one. Don't you put Mario and Donkey Kong on a puzzle game and try to pass it off as a Chad game. It's not. It looks nice.
Chad's
it looks cute. I don't do puzzles.
Yeah, I tried a couple of these games, and very quickly I just got winded by all the puzzly nonsense in them. They're not really for me. I liked the Game Boy game, Donkey Kong 94, which is like way more of a platforming game with some puzzle elements. That one's good. The Mario versus Donkey Kong games have never been my speed. But, yeah. Hope it pleases someone.
Numbers that are close to 99. F-Zero 99 was announced. Battle Royale style racing game that also supports the SNES wireless controller. It's out now. It is exclusively available to those who have an active Nintendo Switch Online subscription. So like all the other Battle Royale games that come out for a year, this is the next one, F-Zero.
I have played this game. I know that we have our playtime segment a little bit later on into the show, but if you don't mind, I can very quickly get into my thoughts on this one.
Go for it.
So, my experience with the F-Zero series has been very limited. I played the Super Nintendo F-Zero game a couple of times because there's been some opportunities via Nintendo Switch Online and some other platforms to, test the waters there a little bit. Never really loved it. Never felt compelled to play any of the F-Zero games, especially considering that their reputation is, oh man, this is a racing game that is going to kick your ass. But I wanted to give this game a shot, in part because initially when this game was announced, there was a bit of a muted reaction to it of like, it's cool that F-Zero is coming back, but like the F-Zero game that everybody really loves is the GameCube F-Zero game, F-Zero GX, and it's kind of cruel that they're instead making this game, which is a riff on the original SNES F-Zero game, which is kind of viewed as a little bit archaic by this point in time. Gave it a shot. Gotta say, I enjoyed my time with it. I feel like it does a really good job of kind of like slowly and steadily onboarding you into the kind of like feel and mechanics of kind of this style of racing game, especially as, somebody who is much more familiar with the kind of more Mario Kart style of racing game. And while I didn't achieve any winner Falcon dinners over the course of me playing, I did get within, I think, maybe the top 25. There were definitely a few close calls there, but yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit. It's mechanically really sound. It's also beautiful looking. Like it's like the most HDified, like pristine looking SNES style game you've ever seen. And yeah, I encourage everybody to go and check it out if you have access to it. It seems like the word on the street is a lot of people are like, yeah, like not exactly what I wanted, but this is actually a very quality product. So yeah, go F-Zero fans.
Play it now while you can.
You got something cool. Yeah. I mean, for the record, Tetris 99, which is like the first in the series of 99 games on the Nintendo Switch Online, that game is still up.
Okay.
But they killed Mario.
Yeah,
they killed Mario, but I think that I want to say that from the beginning, when they first announced that game, the idea was this is only going to be around for a limited period of time.
Yeah.
They have not said similar things about F-Zero 99, so I'd have to assume that this one is going to be around at least for a little while. I don't have any more insider information than that, but
you have a little bit of insider information?
No, I don't have any. I worded that weirdly.
No, you're good. Princess Peach Showtime was shown off. According to Nintendo, the gameplay varies depending on which transformation Peach takes. Princess Peach Showtime is out on March 22nd, 2024. It finally has a name, not just untitled game that features Princess Peach. We know what it's called.
It's so weird to go, what was that, like 6 weeks ago, maybe, not even that much, where we have untitled Princess Peach project game for the Nintendo Switch. It was like, that's the official thing. They're just like, it's in production. And then a few weeks later, we're like, here's this game. It is fully fledged. Like, it is fleshed out. It is almost ready to go.
Here's a 3-minute trailer for a game that didn't have a title 6 weeks ago.
And it's out in 6 months. And it's like, wow, okay. This game to me is treading on some some thin ice. Treading on thin ice. What I don't want it to be is like Princess Peach has her own game, right? And I think if this were 10 years ago even, then it would be like, oh, it's Princess Peach. Let's go shopping. Let's do Princess Peach's makeup. Let's do Princess Peach goes out by the beach and plays volleyball or whatever the fuck. And it's like a throwaway, worthless thing. But this looks like it could be like actually quality game that makes her badass and cool. Some of the stuff looks kind of hokey and fluffy, but some of the things like her doing fencing and shit like that, like I'm optimistic about this one. I'm not stoked for it. I think it could fall on its face and be just a dumb thing that like, let's try to appeal to girl gamers. But no, I'm optimistic.
See, I kind of walked away from this one a little bit more glass half full than you, Chad, where I was surprised by how good this looks. I share a lot of the same concerns that you have. I think that ultimately the jury's out on whether or not this will be like truly exceptional, but just the like quality of the costumes alone like impressed me and whipped me into believing that we could actually have something really special on hand here. Just in the sense that like when we first saw that first teaser trailer for the game and it was implied that, oh, Princess Peach will be able to change her outfits, I assumed it would be like, oh, well, she starts out with her pink dress and then she'll be able to transform into her blue dress and then her green dress. And the fact that it's way more elaborate than that she's transforming into like that one Osamu Tezuka like sword fighter character or like a detective or a cook or like all that stuff. Like, again, it just speaks to there being like a level of commitment to kind of variety in this style of game that I don't think we were anticipating. And it gives me a lot of hope.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
All right. And now things start to slow down a little bit. The original Tomb Raider, along with Tomb Raider 2 and 3, are getting the remaster treatment. Out on February 14th, 2024. The remaster compilation will have an option for players to toggle between the updated visuals and the original polygonal look for some retro flair.
I'll be honest.
I do like that option.
It was hard for me to tell the difference between the two.
Yeah, right.
They were like, you
I
can
do
toggle.
like the option.
And I was like, which one's which?
Yeah, which is which. Yeah, I like the option, but yeah, this game, I'm not really interested in playing a
pass
25-year-old Tomb Raider game.
I'm happy that we're getting to watch Lara Croft fight dinosaurs again. That was something great that we lost in the transition to the modern era of Lara Croft.
Was it?
Yes.
Luigi's Mansion 2 HD is out next summer. There you go. All your winter fall games coming to Nintendo Switch. Luigi's Mansion 2 out next summer. Splatoon 3 Side Order gets new gameplay trailer in spring 2024 release window. Splatoon 3 DLC, Alex's favorite game of all time, Splatoon 3 single player mode.
I had a lot of fun with it. I don't know that it was my favorite game of last year, but that was a lot of fun. They implied in this trailer that this is almost going to be akin to a roguelite experience where you can play it over again and again. I'll definitely give it a shot when it comes out.
It does look pretty fun. One of Adam's favorite games at PAX, Ubisoft provided another look at its upcoming Prince of Persia game, The Lost Crown. 2D action platformer is slated to release on January 18th. Again, I think that game was super cool. It's really interesting now when I think back on it, because when we played it at PAX, I was like, they gave us a Switch Pro controller. And I was like, I wonder why they're doing that. And then the marketing is through Nintendo, so maybe they're just have a marketing deal with Nintendo for this game. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. Super Mario RPG Remake gets a new trailer. We can skip over that. No, Chad, was the trailer good? You liked it?
It just looks dope. And they're making like subtle improvements to like the combat system where similar to before where you would time your hits. Now, if you time your hit correctly and you hit X at the right moment, then it damages everybody on the screen instead of just the person that you were damaging, or healing everybody on the screen, or that kind of stuff too. So looks cool. The graphics look great. And it's just like what I've always wanted to see this game look like.
And
it sounds like... Go ahead.
Sorry,
Alex.
real quick. In a surprise move, Nintendo is allowing you to switch between the old and new soundtracks in this game, which is one of those things where it's like, that's not a very Nintendo move to do. Like, I don't feel like typically when we get these Nintendo remakes, Nintendo's like, oh yeah, you can like switch to the old graphics or the old music. So good on them for that. Good on them.
And that's some good fucking music too. Good music.
Good music. I don't know what I was going to say. Trombone Champ is coming to Nintendo Switch alongside a port coming into... What? Alongside a port.
It's already out, right?
It might be. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it came out day and date.
Trombone
the
Champ is
Direct.
out now. We also learned the Switch version of Trombone Champ will take advantage of the gyro controls, so you can use the Joy-Con's IR motion sensor to play the game. So just like the game of Dane Deasy's balls, you can now play your trombone with the Joy-Cons.
Trombone with your balls.
Nintendo Switch owners do not have to wait much longer to try Dave the Diver. This previously exclusive PC title will be available on the hybrid system on October 26th. Everyone check it out. Dave the Diver is fucking awesome. Now you can play it on Switch.
An important Dixie Kong Lego set update.
Oh, worth it.
Have completed Dixie Kong.
Oh, yeah, that's a hot fucking monkey. Oh, yeah. Look at that guitar.
Is she shredding? Is that what the kids
Show me
say?
her ponytail.
Is
That's
shredding.
Dixie's signature thing is her
yeah.
ponytail.
What's the ponytail look like?
That's right. So the ponytail is
long.
actually pretty cool. It actually has articulation, so you can actually, do the helicopter thing if you want.
Do the helicopter dick. The helicopter dick.
Let's see. First look at Wave 6 of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pack. Detective Pikachu
still
got a
getting
new
new
trailer.
content?
I think
That's
this is almost the end, right?
This is the last one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty certain.
And then
They
they have
did-
the bundle coming out October 6th. Nintendo
For all
Switch
of
with
it.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Surprise, we've never done that before.
Well, I know, right? It's good times. Detective Pikachu gets a new trailer. Unicorn. Now, this is where we get to a bunch of anime games and stuff that Adam doesn't care about, but
Yeah,
if anything was cool to you. The only one that interested me is Unicorn Overlord. It's a new tactics RPG from the developer behind 13 Sentinels, set to release on March 8th. Apparently, people really like Vanillaware, and they get horny for Vanillaware. So, and this is their next game, and I think it looks pretty
I
neat.
love Nilla wafers.
Me too. Great on a banana pudding. You know what I'm saying?
I pass on banana pudding, but Nilla wafers, dip them in some like frosting.
I mean, yeah.
Or some
Frosting and
Nutella.
pudding, so different.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Well,
absolutely.
banana pudding is banana flavored, and nobody fucking likes bananas. That's why they don't make banana frosting.
I think Dixie Kong likes bananas.
You're
She
fucking
sure
right.
does.
All right, but yeah, that's it. Again, there was some more trailers for anime stuff that Adam doesn't care about, so I'm not going to talk about it. Any last words? Any last things from the Meat Club? Not the Peanut Gallery, the Meat Club.
It is mostly. I mean, we just saw remake after remake after remake in this thing. It's like, let's bring back all the, instead of developing new things aside from Princess Peach, Untitled Project, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, it's just like, here's all the remakes we can squeeze out of this thing before we finally move on to the new system.
It was definitely a very remake, remaster centric direct. We're definitely at the end of the Switch's life cycle. I will say, as somebody who was there for the doldrums of the end of the Wii's life cycle, the ends of the DS's life cycle, the ends of the Wii U's life cycle, this is like one of the best ends to a Nintendo console that we have ever had. Again, yes, not a lot of new games coming out, not a lot of cool new ideas, but the quality and like sheer number of releases like dwarfs what we've had in the past. And as a lifelong Nintendo fan, that definitely pleases me.
Yeah, cool HD remakes, and then hopefully everything will work on the next Switch, so all these games will carry over, so you can play Luigi's
Watch
Mansion
it
2
not.
on the
like
new
they announced that
Switch.
your Nintendo account is going to be on both, but watch it fucking not.
But not the games.
Yeah.
That'd be wild. I hope that doesn't happen. All right,
I
that's
hope
it.
so.
That's it for that thing. We're gonna move on to playtime. Alex, I'll let you go first so you can build Legos after you talk.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not a whole lot that I have to say with regards to playtime. Like I said earlier, I played a little bit of F-Zero 99, was pleasantly surprised by it. By all means, give it a shot, even if you're not somebody who like typically enjoyed the F-Zero games in the past, because that was my circumstance and I enjoyed it quite a bit. I also platinum Spider-Man Miles Morales, so I got that under my
Nice.
belt. I contemplated after doing that whether I wanted to jump into the PS4 version of Miles Morales and platinum that one as well, but I think I'll hold off as well. I'll probably platinum that when we're in the middle of the wait between Spider-Man 2 and whatever the next Spider-Man game will be. And I have also been playing a lot of New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe on the Switch, and it is very, very redacted because I will be saving my thoughts for our BARF discussion at the end of the month. And that's kind of it. This is it's very much been one of those weeks where like I'm, stewing a lot of things in pots. I'm cooking up a storm, and I'll have more to talk about in the future. But right now I'm just sort of steeping things.
Steep.
Chad, what kind of stews and mixtures are you making up over there?
I'm taking some little clown makeup and some puppet strings and some blood and some fucking alchemy.
Keep going.
And we're making Lies of P.
Interesting. Well, you paid for the early access, huh?
I did. It was like, so early access version on PlayStation. Of course, I bought it. I don't have Game Pass. I bought it on PlayStation. Early access, as well as some other things, was only $70. It was the $70 version. And I was like, oh, this is not originally a $70 game. It's a $60 game. It's like, fuck, I would have paid $70 for it anyway. So yeah.
Oh, $10? That's nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, I have it early. It unlocked Saturday night. Yeah, one of the two. It unlocked a night, and I jumped into it. I have not made any more progress than the demo. I got to the first boss during the demo, and I have not found a way to like bring over my save information. I don't think they announced that during the demo, and it doesn't seem to be a feature. So I'm like, I don't have anything new to say about it other than it's a badass Bloodborne clone with just like really cool puppets and clowns and other side of it. Like if Bloodborne is about all of these fucking H.P. Lovecraft disgusting scary monsters, this is about fucking scary clowns and puppets, which is a different type of terrifying but equally as terrifying. And it just plays so well.
How Italian is it? Because the original story of Pinocchio was Italian.
I do not recognize any of these places as Italy. Can't tell you. I don't know.
It's a little disappointing.
In fact, they do tell you where you are in the world, but I have forgotten.
Yeah, they say the name of the city or whatever, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I'm playing Lies of P. Just started again, so going back to
question for you.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can know the difference, but I have a feeling the reason that the stuff didn't carry over is because it's a different game. So apparently they took the feedback from that demo. Because I remember playing that demo and being like, "Hey, the dodge doesn't feel super great," and apparently they're like, "Oh, we heard you guys about the dodge. We fixed the dodge." Again, I don't know how deep into it you were at that point, but does it feel better than the demo? Does it feel different? Can you not tell? Or are you a scrub and you can't tell?
I'm a scrub. No, not that I couldn't tell, but it's just like I specifically didn't play the demo with that much scrutiny because one, I didn't really know what it was. I was just like, let me see if this is going to be a good game. Turns out, yes, it's a good game. But then two, like I didn't even bother trying to beat the first boss because I was like, I'm not going to put a lot of effort into this game to then have to redo it again whenever it comes out. So I didn't pay that close attention whenever I started it.
Okay. I think they said that it's improved, so that was my only issue. I was like, I really like this. I wish the dodge felt better, had more iframes, and they said they worked on it. So I'm excited to play that on Tuesday, I think, for us normal people.
Yeah, we have Game Pass. It is on Game Pass, so go play it. Like, give this your download, not money, but download. But also buy it if you want. Alex, yes.
We have another important Dixie Kong Lego set update.
Please.
As you know, Dixie Kong features in this Lego set, but you know who also features in this Lego set? Squawks the parrot.
Fuck yeah. Ooh, yeah. Show me his feathers. Show me his plume.
You can actually you can articulate his tail.
Nice. Now here's the question I have for you. There are two versions of Squawks. There's Donkey Kong Country 1 Squawks, where he's a tiny little baby parrot that carries around a flashlight. Yes. And then there's Donkey Kong Country 2 and Further Squawks that is the same size as our ape friends and carries them around. I'm assuming
that it's the 2 version because as you can see, they're pretty similar in size.
Yeah, that looks right. He also spits hockey balls.
He does.
Which one of them is a registered offender?
Oh, Adam, definitely Squawks. Come on.
Inappropriate. Sea of Stars, I gushed about it last time. I was only about 5 hours in. I'm now about 25 hours in, and I am
20 hours more.
I'm in the final act. I'm getting to the point where just like the lore behind it all is being revealed. You're starting to understand where your power comes from. You're seeing all of these like it's like the last couple episodes of Loki, and not like in theme or necessarily, but like how you watch Loki in the beginning, you're like, oh, this is an interesting little thing. Oh, let me get in it. And then by the end of it, you're just like, I'm traveling to other dimensions and I'm now in the center of the time, whatever the fuck.
Like, oh shit, Kang is here. And nobody knew that Kang was going to be here. Yeah.
I'm having those types
speaking
of
sex offenders.
Not a sex offender.
Not a sex offender, just domestic violence.
Accused.
Right.
Not proven.
Allegedly.
Right, we'll find out in October.
Us.
So yeah, I'm having those types of revelations and like awesome moments in Sea of Stars, and I cannot. In fact, I'll probably try and beat it tonight after we get done wrapping up here. It is, I'm going to say, top 5 for Game of the Year. Not Indie Game of the Year, but Game of the Year for me.
Wow.
And definitely
Like it.
top
Wow.
3 JRPGs of all time for me. Maybe it might work its way up to number 1 or 2. So we'll see.
Very cool. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
No spoilers or whatever, because I don't know the difference. I remember someone mentioning like the party size isn't super big at the beginning. Do you get like what's like a good number of party? Do you get like a good number of party members?
This is why I love this game, because you start the very beginning with just the twins, the Solstice Warriors, Moon and Sun. That's not their names; those are their powers. Their names are Zale and Valerie. And then
You said Moon and Sun. I would have said color. I'm like, that's blue and that's yellow.
Well, he has solar powers and she has lunar powers. But then, yes, you do get a third companion maybe an hour into the game, hour and a half into the game. And then you get a fourth companion probably about 4 or 5 hours into the game, and then a fifth one eventually. But what I love about this game is that you only have 3 battling at a time, and you have 4 or 5 in your party at any given time. But while you're battling, you can just swap to any character at any time and use their moves without any penalty. So, like, if I've got my 3 that I've got, and I'm like, oh man, I really want to use this poison move right now, I'm gonna swap you out and just use that move right now. I don't have to worry about, like, swapping is not the action. I just use any character I want at any time, and it's so cool. And the way that they all have like team up skills and combos and that kind of stuff too, you can like really customize your party to take advantage of those kinds of things. It's such a robust, really cool combat system.
Because I always hate like feeling like I'm leaving someone out. I'm like, I wish you could all be here, but like I understand that's not realistic to have, But that's cool that you can just swap them out for free and there's no issues.
Yeah, and anyone who's not in your party necessarily still travels along with you as cargo. Like, they're marked as cargo, which is funny. So there's even like this character that follows you around and like tells stories and stuff like that, but you don't ever battle with her. So yeah, it's cool. Very cool game. And the thing that I love most about it, and I'll move on after this, is that it feels like it is a very contained, achievable experience. It's one of the things I loved about the first South Park Stick of Truth RPG game is that it's just like, I feel like I can do everything in it in a reasonable amount of time and like close that book and it's done. So very excited, which is rare for a JRPG. Like, usually they're like, all right, 40 hours, and then you have to go and do all the post-game stuff and kill all the ultimate weapons and all that, and it's just like, nobody's got time.
The game doesn't start for 30 hours, really.
Yeah.
Okay, eat my
This is like, I think I can probably platinum and accomplish literally everything in the game in probably 35 hours maybe. Pokemon Violet, still playing that. Got 4 badges, 4 gym leaders dead. You murder them in this game.
Shit.
Slit their throats. There's a Scyther that
no.
travels along behind you. That's literally there just to slit throats.
Jesus.
Killed 3 Titans, murdered those giant Pokemon bitches, and I've still only taken out 1 hideout, which was cool, but like still playing that on the treadmill. And then the last thing I'll say is because I spent time doing this, I spent a not insignificant amount of time trying to replicate this Destiny glitch that's out right now, where
the game you've already beaten, though.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of beats to beat. There's this glitch right now where you can craft weapons it's a thing where like you click on one weapon, you really quickly switch to another one, and it lets you like basically make a fusion of it on accident, not on purpose, where like you have an auto rifle with unlimited ammo and every shot is basically a shotgun. Like every bullet lands like a shotgun. And so it's obviously not intentional. Destiny they're like freaking out right now. Yesterday they're like, we're going to disable all crafted guns sometime within the next 24 hours. And then we're going to eventually follow up with a patch that just bans the illegal ones. And then they just tweeted about an hour ago, it's a lot more complex than that. Have fun until we figure it out. So, unfortunately, it's a lot harder to do on console than it is on PC. Because PC, the way to do it is to cap your frame rate at 30 frames a second. And then also like open up a lot of shit on your computer to try to slow it way down so that the game has like
down?
So that you click once and it doesn't quite register the click and then you move over. I spent 2 hours, y'all. 2 hours. Downloaded the Destiny 4 version of this game, which runs at 30 frames per second and looks disgusting. And then I was going in there, just click L1 click. Damn it. Click L1 click. I did that for 2 fucking hours. Didn't get a single one of these goddamn glitched weapons. So it's a waste of my time. But I did it.
Have people been able to repro it on consoles?
Yes.
Like, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I did it I did it for an hour. I was like, I give up. And then Audrey fucking tested the group chat and said, hey, look at this video. This guy doing it on PS5. Fuck, Audrey. Now I'm going to do it for another hour when I had finally resigned myself to giving up.
Almost sounds like the PC is a better way to play the game.
No. It just sounds like you can fuck up your PC a lot better than you could fuck up a PlayStation 5.
Sounds like you can have more fun on PC than on PS5.
I don't think so.
You don't have any glitch guns.
No, but your PC is much easier to make run like shit than your PlayStation 5.
That's true.
Yeah.
You can do a lot of fucked up stuff on your PC. I was going to make another joke.
Nice.
I keep forgetting all my jokes today, guys. I'm sorry.
Adam,
Yeah,
that one
pretty good.
was very funny.
Pretty good. Oh, no. Here's what it was. I can't wait for the day when Chad comes on the podcast or I see it on Twitter when Destiny is like, because, like they ban stuff and they're like, oh, we got to figure out this glitch. I can't wait for the day when Destiny is like, we have to ban all the guns. There's no guns right now. All the guns are messed up. There's 0 guns in Destiny right now. Have fun.
It's big DK mode where everyone has big heads and you got to slappy punch everyone. The only way you can fight.
Slappy punch.
It's coming. It'll happen one day. All right, very cool. The only thing for me is I'll play more Starfield. Good amount of hours into that game. It's really opened up and really gotten good. I think it's at the start. There's like the onboarding. I don't feel is the start field. I think there's a point when you're like when you figure out what the game actually is, and then it's like, oh, now I'm having fun. Like I started to do. Might be one of my favorite quest lines ever. It starts out as like join the UC Vanguard, which is basically fucking like Empire Rent-A-Cop or whatever. It's like, all right, I guess I'll do this because I'm here. And then the first mission is literally Aliens, like the movie. Actually, it might be Alien 1 because it's supposed to be scary and intense.
Right.
I'm like, why? Like, it starts out as like, go give this guy a thing to fix his satellite. I'm all right. I'm doing fucking chores for the fucking government right now. And then it's like, oh, the aliens are like, the alien is here to fucking kill you. You have to be quiet and sneak around. And you've got a little motion sensor of how far away it is. So like when it gets closer, like it starts beeping loud. And you're like, holy shit. And you start running away. I was like, I'm supposed to be a fucking space cop. And this shit is great. So let's see. You just got to find the cool stuff in there. But yeah, Starfield's a good time. I'm playing
still
that.
Pumping that soundtrack. That thing is so fucking
good. Every time I take off, great stuff. But then when Pinocchio comes out, I'll probably put it on hold and play a little Pinocchio. So, but that's it though. Just playing more Starfield, having a good time, watching football. Love that. All right, moving on to our quest log. We've got another showcase to talk about.
Whoa.
There's a little less games in this one.
Weirdly enough, I won't have as much to say about this one.
You should. P.S. State of Play shows off the next few months of exclusives from Taylor Lyles at IGN. Excuse me. I'm going to have to, talk as you will. Square Enix revealed. I'm very gassy. That Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will be released exclusively on PS4 on February 29th, 2024.
Fuck.
More interestingly, the end of the trailer unveiled that Rebirth will be released on 2 separate discs. Ooh, gross. Square Enix has revealed much more information about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, confirming the anticipated follow-up to Final Fantasy VII Remake will feature a hefty 100 hours of gameplay. Chad, you are a simp for this video game. Is it being 100 hours and 2 discs too much?
Okay, first of all, it's only discs if you have the gross consoles that take discs. Digital for life. It's just going to be a big game. And I bought a 4 terabyte SSD back on Amazon Prime Day, so we're good. 100 hours does not scare me. I played, within the first 2 weeks of release of Final Fantasy VII Remake, I played 75 hours of it, I think. And
Isn't that game only like 40 hours, though?
Yeah, but then you got to beat it on really hard mode and do the cool shit to get the platinum trophy. So... I'm totally into this. Honestly, there are 2 things about this thing. One, I looked at this trailer twice, casually took it in through my eyeballs, but purposely didn't process the information in my brain because I kind of just want to be surprised and
absolutely
and fall in love with all the things around the corners. But the second thing that's really fucking wild about this game is if you have not played or purchased the original remake and Intergrade games, and you pre-order this game, you get those for free immediately.
Yeah.
Like it is a pre-order exclusive thing. So if you pre-order the new one, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, there is a twin pack that you can do, which is the same price as the game. And it gives you both of them, all the games, and you get access to the original ones for free right away. That only goes until the game. The minute the game releases, the twin pack goes up to $100. So
okay. So
it's definitely enticing you to pre-order, but like that's fucking wild. If you want to get into this, or if you got it free maybe through PlayStation Plus and it's just the PS4 version, and you're like, well, you can still unlock the full version by buying this twin pack too.
I want to say two things real quick. First off, an update on the Dixie set. I completed the base that the set takes place on, and check this out.
Oh my god!
It's a little rotating base situation.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. We're getting pretty close to the end.
Yeah.
Second thing is, I really, really loved Final Fantasy VII Remake as well. And the idea of 100 hours doesn't instill any kind of fear in me, other than the fear that this might be a little bit too much of an open world game. What I'm hoping, and people stick with me on this one, is that this is almost more akin to a Final Fantasy 13 style open world, where there are some big, huge, open-ended environments in Final Fantasy 13, but it's not a true open world in the way that we think of one, in the way that we think of like a Breath of the Wild or a Ubisoft Collectathon open world. I hope that this game's environments are a lot more kind of like crafted and a lot more comparatively contained, because that's what made the original Final Fantasy VII Remake such a winner in my book, was just the sheer density of people to see and things to do in it. And I hope that that applies to this game as well, regardless of how long it is.
I am right there with you. I do not want 100 hours of fluffy open world side quests. I want 100 hours of great crafted content.
Well, you'll probably get 50 hours of great crafted content, and then find a chocobo.
Even in Remake,
in the
there
wild.
was like, go find my 3 cats in the town. Or here's this not difficult to figure out robot hand puzzle to platform across, but it takes you 15 minutes to walk from switch to switch to do it. I mean, it still had those in Remake, but they were not overwhelming in their
It'll mostly be
number.
fun. Yeah. It'll be good. Next up, Insomniac released a new gameplay trailer for Spider-Man 2, where the biggest takeaway, where there was over 65 different spider suits, will be available when the game releases next month.
And that does not take into account that there are 4 colorways per suit, right?
I think there's different suits, and then there's colorways per suit.
And then 4 colorways per suit. That's wild.
I believe, yes. Insomniac notes the original designs, in addition to suits that were depicted in comic books, in movies will be available. I think I've already seen a picture of like Amazing Spider-Man suit in the new game.
Yep.
Insomniac also teased that alongside Venom and Kraven, we'll see more Marvel villains that have never been in the Spider-Man universe before.
Oh shit!
I want to see fucking Jeff Bridges, Tony from Iron Man 1. I want to see
Jeff
him
Bridges specifically
Jeff Bridges as whatever his fuck face was.
Ironmonger, not
Iron
Warmonger.
Monger my Iron War.
I'm super excited for this game. They've had previews go up early or late last week or whatever. Game sounds really awesome, really cool. I will say, just a dumb nitpick, because Adam feels like talking about it. Between the 65, because they showed off, I think, the pre-order suits or the digital deluxe suits or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it goes back to the first game and it goes back to Miles. I think like 1 in 4 suits look good. And I feel like the other suits just like, they don't do it for me. I'm like, that's cool. There's 65. Like, we'll get cool ones. But like every time I play the game, I'm like, you unlocked a new suit, and I look at it for 2 seconds, like that looks like garbage, and move on to the next one. I'm like, give me the iron
there's
suit.
65 different, like you in the Amazing Spider-Man, or Spider-Man 2018, if I remember correctly, and I think this was the case in Miles. Like, you unlock a suit, and it comes with specific like perks or unique things about it. But then you can
move those to the other
on anything. But
that was the case in Miles as well, but it was a little bit more pared down.
Yeah,
there weren't as many things like that. I'm going to say this, and I recognize this might be controversial. I think the best unlockable suits in both games were the suits that change your art style, like the Into the Spider-Verse suit in Miles Morales, or like the other like weird cartoon animated suits in the original game. Those are always the most fun to play around with.
They were cool, but I played 75% of 2018 Spider-Man as Spider-Punk. That dope blue hoodie, and that's
but the thing is, for every Spider-Punk, there's just like 3 of just like Spider-Man Goes to the Market. I'm like, why is this? It is awful. But no, especially with the Venom versions, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Just wanted to point it out. I love Spider-Man. It's a great game, but half those suits are garbage. Capcom confirmed that its critically acclaimed remake of Resident Evil 4 is indeed getting paid post-launch content in the form of separate ways, which comes out September 21st. Set during the events of Resident Evil 4, players control Ada Wong, who appears a few times in the main story. Just another thing about Resident Evil 4, the PSVR 2 mode gets a winter release window.
Hot.
Chad, you can blow the dust off your PSVR 2.
I know,
and
right?
play Resident Evil 4.
I'm actually thinking, like, as I promise to play at least one new thing each week, I'm thinking, all right, how do we work the VR2 in here? Because I have not touched that thing in so long.
Wait, did you play something new this week?
Liza
P, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, I'll give it to you. I lost my place. All right, here we go. Ubisoft showed off a new trailer for the upcoming open world game Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, which releases on December 7th. Again, I think the game looks cool. It also looks just like Far Cry with Avatar.
Yeah.
So it's either going to do it for you or it's not. It's 100% going to be that
It's
game.
one of those games that I will 100% not pay any attention to it unless people say it's really, really great. And then I'm like, okay, I'll try it.
I'll play it when it's $20.
I might play it regardless of what people say, just to be countercultural.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to spend 150 Canadian dollars to do that, go right ahead.
I might.
PS5 Deep Earth Collection introduces new faceplates in DualSense colors, red and blue faceplates, and controllers will arrive on November 3rd, while the silver color will come out January 26, 2024.
Dope.
New colors. Have fun.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
I just love how I love the accessibility of swapping out the colors on these things. Like if you want to, on a whim, just change it to red, like you can. It's really easy to do. Like, and the fact that they're just continuing to make new colors. Dope.
I have a question for you, Chad. I don't know if we've ever talked about it on the podcast. You got the Final Fantasy 16 one from Asia, right?
The controller, yeah.
Yeah, the controller. Yeah, you never talked about that.
Yeah, I have. I'll go get all four. Hold, please.
You can. I was just wondering if you liked it or not, but I guess we're going to wait for Chad now. No big deal. I'll go on to the next one. Bennett Foddy, the developer for Fine Getting Over It, announced that his next game, Baby Steps, is out next summer. Chad is back now.
So I originally, the only special controller, I have too many fucking DualSenses and no real life friends in California that want to play video games with me. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 PS5 controllers. All that I use is my DualSense Edge. But I got the God of War one originally. It's like, great, dope. God of War, got to play the whole game with the God of War one. Excellent. Then the DualSense Edge came out. I was like, fuck, I don't need anything else. And then they showed off the Hogwarts Legacy one. I'm like, fuck, I need that. I tried to get it. Couldn't. It was sold out immediately. Matt fucking Vieira from Rhode Island sends me this on my birthday. Like a beautiful
You just said that
little
man's
baby
full
boy.
name.
Yeah. Yeah. Then we've had him on the podcast several times. He said his full name several times.
I don't remember that.
And then after that, I was like, fuck. They released the Spider-Man looking one. And I was like, God damn it. This looks great. I don't need this controller, but I need this controller. And if I get this controller, then I have to do the thing where I get all the DualSenses. And so now I'm getting all the, like, this is the 16th. Yeah, Final Fantasy 16 one from Asia. So now I'm getting all of the special edition ones that I guess are related to games I like, maybe. Right now, there are only 5. One of them is a LeBron James one, which I don't give a shit about. And the other 4 are games that I really, really, really like. So we'll see if they release more and what I get. But the plan is to, you can't really see it because it's blurred out right now, but there's like a little display case up here that I've 3D printed that's going to hold Game Boys. And then I'm going to make a second one that has my DualSenses in it and lit up and all that kind of cool shit.
Ooh.
And that's how I will justify the purchase I've made.
I made a box. I
made a box to hold. I spent a lot of money on controllers, and now I have a way to show you how much money I spent on controllers.
Awesome. You are just a 30-year-old man. That's exactly what we do. It's like, look at my collection of football cards. They have all got autographs. Yeah, so I get it. Roblox for PS4 gets October 10th release date. Again, wow, that one of the world's most popular games was not on PlayStation. Had no idea. Kids just played on their phones and school computers and shit all day, apparently.
You know what, though? At least these are cool things that have use. Old people, sorry, I'm talking about going back to like 30-year-old people collecting shit. Like old people out here collecting fucking stamps. Oh, look at my book full of stamps. Or look at this penny from the fucking Civil War. Has a bullet in it. Great. What are you going to do with that, Grandpa? You're going to go throw it at someone that you hate because of the color of their skin, because you're a racist. I'm going to actually like look at this and get laid because of it.
Neither one of those things
No
are
one's getting laid for a stamp, though.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, you've made fair points.
Yeah.
You've heard it here. Chad's going to get laid because of a Spider-Man 2 controller. Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord is out next month for PSVR 2. This one actually excited me. Helldivers 2 new trailer gives us another look at gameplay plus a release date. The developer announced that Helldivers 2 will arrive on PS5 and PC on February 8th, 2024 next year. I will say, we'll see when it comes out. I like the first one. This seems like a very much like, this is going to be a $50 game that maybe it's fun with friends. I do love, well, I hate when we have trailers where people are like fake talking. It's like, oh, cover me. I'm going over, the fake gamer chat. But it's really funny because I don't know where the developer's from, somewhere in Europe. It's really funny when they have the European accents.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys ingratiated me. It's okay that you're doing the dumb gamer talk. But no, I'm excited for it. I hope it's good.
Rainbow Six Siege was the first game that I ever played where I was like, oh, fuck, we actually sound like those people in the demos that sound super forced and fake, but we're saying those things out loud because this game makes you say them out loud. And I was like,
no, it happens in real life. I just hate listening to a rehearsed version of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The original Helldivers was a game that I did check out on my Vita way back in the day because Greg and Colin and company used to talk about it a lot. Could not get into it. Did not particularly care for it. These trailers don't really do much for me either, but never know.
No, this does feel like every multiplayer game that has released in like the last 5 years. It's like third person, you got to play with your friends to have the most fun, and everyone's got to, whatever. But it might be all right.
I don't care about these next two, so I'm going to go get some water. I'm still listening, though.
Do your thing. I'm very excited for this. Following its colorful reveal in May, Square Enix announced that its Splatoon-esque shooter Foam Stars is getting an open beta. The beta will be available on PS5 and will commence on September 29th, conclude on October 1st. That means I need to convince you guys to play Foam Stars.
Oh, 100%. I'll be there day one, for sure.
The mode that they showed off in the trailer was the one that I played at PAX, and then there was another mode that I did not get to play. But yeah, Foam Stars is okay. I want to see if you guys feel the same. We'll figure it out when we get there.
I will definitely give it a shot because it's gonna eventually get swept under the rug like 6 months after it releases.
Oh yeah, it'll die very soon. I bet.
Yeah, and it might be one of those unfortunate situations like what was the wrestling game? Wrestle something. The one where it's like a wrestle like battle royale.
Oh, Knockout City. No, not Knockout City. That was Dodgeball. Rumbleverse?
Yeah, it might be like Rumbleverse, where it's like, oh man, this is just really good, but yeah, the market's too saturated. There's not enough room.
It'll be fun, though. Bandai Namco Studios made a jaw-dropping surprise today, announcing that its over 2-year-old RPG Tales of Arise getting expansion, subtitled Beyond the Dawn. Expansion arrives on November 9th. Sure, there you go.
You could have
Play
told
that
me
old game.
Tales of Arise. Is that a Super Nintendo Japanese only game? Is that a Wii game that came out on the eShop? Is that a fucking brand new Nintendo Switch title? I couldn't give. Apparently, it's a PlayStation thing that came out 2 years ago. I don't know. It's some generic ass Japanese sounding thing.
Yeah, I do not care. If Bandai Namco isn't showing me From Software, you can get the fuck out. All right. That's it for PlayStation.
God, do you remember when they were Namco Bandai? Mm-hmm. What a fucking wild world we were
dummies. Big dummies. I would say the fact that we got both of those showcases on the same day, I don't think either of them are like, oh my God, 10 out of 10, I'm blowing my head off kind of a thing. But I think they were both pretty solid.
That's what I do fun. When I see something so beautiful, I have to blow my head off.
It'll never get better than this. You got to take yourself out. No, I think we had a solid day of announcements.
We did.
Pretty good
there are
stuff.
enough good announcements to come out of both of these things that and they were announced literally like 24 hours in advance, so no one had time to speculate and get their hopes up about some stupid thing that they knew wasn't going to come true.
Absolutely. Last story for the day. Hades 2 coming soonish. Tom Ivan of VGC. Supergiant Games has announced plans to release Hades 2 in early access next year. While the exact date, pricing, and system requirements will be confirmed closer to that time, the game will debut on Steam.
Fuck, Adam.
And Epic Game Stores in the second quarter of 2024. Following the early access launch, the studio plans to add the rest of the game's core content, refine what's already there in a series of updates. Quote from the studio, the story will expand with each update as we introduce more characters and deepen relationships with existing ones. This process will culminate in our version 1.0 launch, which will feature the conclusion to the story and other and any other finishing touches. We don't know yet exactly how long it will take us to get to version 1.0 of Hades 2, as our experience developing in early access has taught us, among many things, to expect the unexpected. I'm excited to finally get a release date for that. The game will be in early access for 1.5 to 2 years, and then it will come to consoles. But I'm excited because I played Hades 1 in early access in full release, and I had a great time that entire time. And 2 looks dope as shit, so let's go.
Yeah, I still got to beat Hades 1, and then I got to play and beat Turtle Hades still. And then it makes me so bummed that they're like, we're gonna release this early access to PC nerds, and then if you want to play it on something that counts, you got to wait so long, where like you stop caring about it.
Yeah, no one remembered Hades when it came to 1.0. Nobody at all. Didn't get Game of the Year nominations or anything. None of that. No, very excited.
The year that came out, I hated that game. I hated Hades because there was so much potential for it to unseat Last of Us Part 2 as Game of the Year. And I think it is fucking bonkers to compare those two games and say that Hades 2 is the better game of those two games. Or sorry, Hades 1 is the better of those two games. And so before I even touched the game Hades, it was my fucking top of my hit list. And then I played it the next year, and it was great.
Yeah, they call that prejudice. You prejudged it without any sight unseen.
I did.
Because it threatened your baby. Again, there's a lot of those old people collecting stamps. Act just like you.
Yeah, okay, Mr. Anime Bullshit.
Hey, let me tell you, it proved me wrong. That's it for our new stuff.
Segment from
You want to do mine first?
Yeah,
okay.
Well, I'm almost done with the Lego set. Almost done. Okay. Just give me 2 more minutes and we're good.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to need you for this, but that's fine.
The melody for what I just did there for segment from Adam was the short little riff that plays when you take a rest in Sea of Stars.
Very cool. I like it. All right. So this is a segment I'm calling Convince Me You Deserve It. I put these notes in as a way to not tease out what I'm doing to you guys, but then I'm just end up calling it what it's in here.
I saw you writing it. Like, I was looking at the doc while you were typing it. I was seeing letter by letter. I was like, oh, what the fuck is this? Am I supposed to be looking at this?
I mean, you can. It's in there. Okay. So this segment is called Convince Me You Deserve It. What we're going to do here is, based on, again, we just had 2, what do you call them? 2 showcases.
Well, I'm sorry, Adam. I'm sorry, Adam, but I need,
Cozy. Go for it.
I need to interrupt this because I have completed the Dixie Kong Lego set. Hold on, let me power up Lego Mario real quick. Oh no. Hold on a sec. Okay, I gotta repair
only took you an hour.
Mario's guitar. Only took me an hour. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Mario gets a guitar too? And his creepy blinky eyes too?
They included a red guitar with the set. So as you saw previously, you can move around Dixie Kong, Squawks the Parrot, and Mario on their little platforms.
He has a microphone. Okay.
Now, the way that these Mario sets work, right, is that they're very modular. So over here, you have like a bongo set. If I wanted to, I could take it off and I could put it in front of Squawks. I could take the microphone and put it in front of Dixie Kong so she can sing better. This right over here, this is basically where Mario's guitar rests. It's part of the amp that it's a part of. Oop. Don't worry, though. That's A-okay.
Cozy, you almost just destroyed that whole jungle.
I'm not going to lie. I'm really, really pleased with this set. It's actually, like, very pretty, and I feel like they put a lot more thought into this than I would have thought. I would have thought that they would have just had, Dixie Kong and company on a bunch of platformers, but this is really nice. Good job.
How does it interact with the existing Mario courses?
There's one of those little like QR code thingies that Mario can jump on, and so I'm assuming that if he jumps on that, he makes a sound effect noise, gets maybe a coin or something. Basically, that's the extent of it.
Okay. Cool.
Very cool. Very nice. All right.
Convince me you deserve it.
Convince me to deserve it. We just had 2 things that happened, 2 showcases that showed video games. A lot of them coming out this year.
That's right.
Cozy, earlier this year, me and Chad did a little Fantasy Critically, which I fucking destroyed, Chad. Holy hell, it's not even close.
It's not over yet. We still have 3 months.
Yeah, and I have more games than you don't. And I'm already up by like 50 points. You're done. But Cozy wasn't there for that. So, this little game is a little mix of that mixed with Jacob McCourt, the panel that he had me on, Game Boy Advance, greatest game ever made.
Mm-hmm.
You guys look at the games coming out the rest of the year, and
Do you have a specific
tell me
link
which
you want us
ones
to look at?
No, just
Okay.
again, you can look at it through what was in the news stories, whatever's coming out for the rest of the year that you think this can win me fantasy critically. You're going to pick 3 games.
Okay.
But the twist is, when you bring me a game, you have to make a pitch, a short pitch, maybe 15 seconds, and whoever makes the better pitch, I let draft that game. And then once you have 3 and 3, we'll see who does better by the end of the year. So basically, the idea is to pick games that are coming out by the end of the year, maybe stuff that was shown in the showcases, and then give me a pitch so I allow you to have the video game.
Okay.
So, is there any game that first comes to mind? Like, I got to try to get this game on my team of 3.
I mean, I feel like you have to give some consideration for Super Mario Bros. Wonder. One thing that we've talked about on this podcast over the past few weeks is how, over the course of the past few years, New Super Mario Bros. U, which is the direct predecessor to this game, has kind of had a reevaluation where people were like, oh man, we maybe were a little bit unfair to it during the Wii U era. And so I feel like the chips are higher than they are normally on Mario platformers. And this one has a lot of good momentum going into it. People really like all the fun little changes that are coming to it, how expressive Mario and his partners look, which typically was not the case with some of the prior Mario platformers. So for that reason, I think it is definitely worth considering.
Okay, Chad, do you think that's a game you're willing to fight for, or do you just want to give it to Cozy?
I'm gonna let Cozy take it. I know it's gonna be great.
That's not the point of the game. You're gonna lose.
No, it's. I mean,
the point is the better pitch
I didn't
wins.
understand the rules.
No.
So
Cozy is saying Super Mario Wonder, and then you both give me a 15-second pitch, and whoever's a better pitch gets that game.
Okay.
So Cozy, I'll let you start 15 seconds on the clock. Tell me why you deserve Super Mario Wonder.
It's a Mario game that's looking to be quite the wonder. Bowser can combine himself with a castle in that game, and that's just quite a wacky, wondrous thing. And yeah, it's Mario time.
Okay, very good. Chad, give me your pitch why you should have Super Mario Wonder.
I think Super Mario Wonder takes what's great about Mario platforming and then also merges it with like difficulty and wonder and exploration and secrets. And that's part of what made Super Mario World great was the secrets and the keys and the levels. And it's just like it allows for all of that exploration in a wonderful way. Very
good. Well, again, shout out for both of you using wonder as like an adjective or whatever. Adverb, adjective, whatever they want to call it. I'm going to give this one to Cozy because he did mention Bowser. And I like Bowser. They were both good pitches.
Okay.
No, it's not, Chad. It's not going to go how you think. It's really based on the pitch. Whoever I think has a funnier pitch, to be honest.
Okay.
All right, so Alex has Mario Wonder. Chad, what's a game that you think you might want on your team?
Wizard with a Gun.
Okay, all right.
This is the Devolver Digital game. It's a multiplayer co-op, kind of looks like same art style as Bastion, same aesthetic as Bastion. Are we starting my 15 seconds yet?
Yeah, we can start your 15 seconds now.
All right, first of all, it's Devolver Digital, so that's like right up Adam's poop chute. And then wizards and guns don't really mix. Like wizards like magic, and they're like, what do I do with this gun? And they're just like Ricky Bobby over there on the news. Oh, I don't know what, and it's just going to be hysterical.
Okay,
I don't need
Cozy.
15.
Can't
You know
Cozy,
what?
give me your pitch.
You know what? Wizard with a Gun releases on October 17th. You can't fault it. Looks like a pretty charming title. But you know what will also be charming? Releasing on October 13th, The Grinch Christmas Adventures. This game.
Okay, so your time is up. Yeah, Chad, I'll go give you Wizard with a Gun because you actually talked about the game that you wanted, and you mentioned Ricky Bobby, so that's good.
Yeah,
Wizard with a Gun only coming to PS5, the Xbox Series consoles, and PC. The Grinch coming to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series consoles, and Xbox One and Switch.
Wizard with a Gun is coming to Switch.
Is it?
It is.
Doesn't
It's
seem
NS.
so on this GameStop article.
Oh, I'm looking at the Wikipedia. It says Wizard
Cozy,
with a Gun.
what's the
Windows,
game that you would like
NS.
to?
Yeah,
that you would like to pitch next? If you want to do
it's the
Grinch, you can.
I think it's the Grinch Christmas.
I don't know how good that would be strategy wise, but if you'd like to, you could.
No, you know what? I'll go with a legitimate answer this time. I'm gonna pitch you Persona 5 Tactica.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Now, this is an anime game, but I hope that you don't have too much of an allergic reaction to this one, because this one has the pedigree of the Persona 5 development team going into it. It's got a lot of seemingly great dialogue. It seems like the previews for it have been really good. Yeah, go Persona 5 Tactica.
Okay. Very good. Chad, would you like to argue to get this
Here we
game
go.
on your list?
Ready?
Okay, go for it.
I don't want anything to fucking do with this game. It's probably gonna have cats that talk like humans. I don't like that. Little cat friends. And there's gonna be fucking Tactica. You know I don't like real-time strategy and tactics games. Get out of here. I don't want anything. And give Cozy this game. In fact, give him my other game, too. Give him Wizard with a Gun.
Chad, I'm going to go ahead and give you Persona 5 Tactica. It was such a good... No, I'm just kidding. I'm giving that to Cozy. Cozy actually wants it. And I'm also very excited for that game because I like tactics games. Whose turn is it? Chad, is it you?
How many
yeah,
did
Chad.
Okay.
We're just doing three.
Okay. 3 each. Got it. Okay. I'm in my brain.
Yeah, Alex
like,
has
how am I
2.
picking
You
which
have
games?
1.
Okay.
But again, someone could take your pitch. So but go ahead and give me your game that you think's good.
Got it. All right.
You're trying to win here. Open Critic. Fantasy League.
Open my critic to the world sexually.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready?
Well, what's the game?
Oh, yeah. The game is I'm buying time as I scroll through the list.
Uh-huh. Again, there's also 2 news stories about games that were announced up here. Just a heads up.
Yeah, but all of them are coming to Australia next winter. So, WarioWare Move It.
Okay, all right. Give me your pitch for WarioWare Move It.
WarioWare Move It. It takes the fun, wacky silliness of WarioWare games. It takes the group party atmosphere of Mario Party, which makes it so much fun. And it makes you do it in weird ways that use your body and the IR sensor that make you look fucking ridiculous. And everyone loves that at a good party.
You don't even need the full time.
Nope.
Very good. Alex, do you want to argue for to get this game on your list?
Yeah. I mean, the thing about Wario is he, like all of us, is an entrepreneur. He's always hustling. He's always trying to find a new way to make himself a little bit of side moolah. And I just appreciate the fact that his box art shows him wearing just a ripped and beaten to shreds shirt. I feel like it's very bold of Nintendo to show one of their characters wearing such bad apparel.
I mean, good ending. I'm going to go and give it to Chad because he did mention looking goofy with the IR sensor, but also you would be tied at 2-2, and that makes more sense for the game. So, Chad, you're going to get more.
Nice.
WarioWare Move It. WarioWare Move It is on your list. All right. Cozy, give me one more game that you would like to be on your Fantasy Critical League.
You know what? I'm gonna throw you for a curveball here. Not a Grinch level curveball where I'm just being goofy, but a curveball that has a little bit of substance to it. At least we're hoping it does. RoboCop Rogue City.
Oh, okay.
This is the RoboCop game that's coming out on November 2nd. And I'll just keep this short and sweet. You know, the problem with RoboCop is ever since the first movie directed by Paul Verhoeven, the franchise has had a bit of an identity crisis. The games and movies have been overly serious. They've taken the premise on face value. And it seems like Rogue City is going back to the kind of comedic roots of the original movie while still featuring solid gun action.
There you go. Very good.
I zoned
Chad,
out a
do you
little
have
bit.
pitch?
What game were we talking about?
RoboCop.
RoboCop.
Rogue
Okay,
City.
I'm ready.
Uh-huh.
Okay, you remember that fan remake of RoboCop where like people make one scene at a time, and then there's the scene where he interrupts the rape in progress and he just shoots all the dicks off, and there's just people climbing over fences getting their dicks shot off. This is in that game.
Okay.
For the record, we don't actually know that to be true.
I know this is weird and silly. Chad, you're getting RoboCop.
Fuck yeah.
Oh,
But I will say, now Chad
Yeah.
has one more game to pitch, to be like, hey, put this up there. Alex needs one more game to fill it. But we'll see how this goes.
Okay. You ready?
Because maybe if... I don't know how this is going to work. Oh, here's what's going to happen. Because it's Chad's time to pitch it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Cozy, if you make a better pitch, I'll let you put whatever game you want in your third spot. But if you don't, then it has to go in your last spot. So basically, Chad, you're trying to give him his last game and then make the better pitch. But if not, he gets to pick whatever game he wants. I guess that's what we're doing right now.
I don't know if I understand it, but it's not going to change my strategy anyway.
Okay. Basically, you're going to pitch a game, and
Yeah.
if you do the better pitch, he's stuck with it. And if you don't, he gets to pick whatever he wants. So there's a little bit of strategy here.
Okay.
But do whatever you want to do.
Okay.
So you can try to stick him with the Grinch.
No.
Or if you don't do the pitch right, then he gets to pick whatever he wants.
No, I've been playing
So
this
what
for
do
a
you
whole
wanna do
like
here?
4 minutes. So I'm just going to stick with the plan.
4 minutes. Oh
We're
my
gonna
God, too
do-
much.
Jasant.
Okay, yeah.
Jasant from Don't
Okay.
Nod. Ready?
Go for it.
First of all, it's Don't Nod, who does Life is Strange and many other critically acclaimed games, can be great. But I think the best thing about this game and why it's going to be so important is by the end of it, you're going to realize it's about a character with dyslexia. And the game's supposed to be called Just Nut. And the partner is called Ballast, but it's just balls. That's it.
Okay. Very good pitch. Cozy, give me a pitch to either be forced to take Just Nut or you get to pick your own game if you give a better pitch than that.
According to dictionary.com, the verb saunter means to walk in a slow, relaxed manner without hurry or effort. This game is called Jasant, which means it's just telling you, hey man, take it easy. Just relax, stroll into this room without much hurry or effort. Just have yourself a good time. And I feel like few games out there are that forward-facing and letting you know how you're supposed to feel going into them.
I will say, Alex, your last game's Jusant. You didn't make any adult bodily function jokes, but hopefully the game works out for you. I will say, I was expecting someone to fucking say Spider-Man 2 because, like, you're looking for a game to get 90 on Open Critic. You should just do Spider-Man, but no one did.
Listen,
here we are.
we all saw what happened in 2018 when Spider-Man
So-
got fucking nothing at the Goaties.
You got like an 87. It's fine. That's a good score.
Do I win this round or does Chad win?
Chad
We're tied
won, so
now.
you're forced to take Jasant.
Yeah.
But you both have 3 games apiece.
Ah,
So
damn
we're
it.
done
Are we
now.
actually? Is
God
this just
damn
like
it.
a just for fun today thing, or are you actually tracking these going forward?
I'm going to put this in and see what the scores end up at the end
Okay.
of the year. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm sorry, the Grinch Christmas Adventures. I really wanted to get
You
you
were
on the
going to
list.
lose if you're trying to win the game.
You
Anyways,
have
that's it.
Mario Wonder, a Persona game, and Just Nut. And I have fucking RoboCop and WarioWare.
Yeah, I don't know why you fought so hard for RoboCop. I'm going to be honest with you.
I only half understood the rules, and I was looking at other Wikipedia things, trying to figure out my next game.
That's fine. That's it. We got a new segment, though.
Close it, pause the quiz!
All right. Hold your horses there,
Better
Chad.
than the original
So
name.
here's the thing. Chad came to me over on the DMs, and he was like, hey, Cozy, I have a suggestion. Totally up to you. You've written in a bajillion cool creative questions to Kind of Funny as of recent. Maybe you can do the same thing on Respawning Fire. Pose a question to the group, and we can, have fun answering it. And he was like, you know what? I have an idea. What if we called it Cozy Pose Accuse with a thick Italian-like accent? And I'm like, Chad, I love you. That's a great idea. I really love it. I hate that name. I think that name is absolutely deplorable. I'm going to show you just how smart I am, just how big-brained I am. And I'm going to name it a much better name. I'm going to call it Cozy's Question Corner, each spelt with 3 Ks. And Chad's like, that spells KKK. And I'm like, yeah, it does. Uh-oh. And so we had another 3 hours of brainstorming, and we decided that it will instead be called Cozy's Question of the Week. Question still spelt with a K, so
And it
we
sticks to the
managed to
Donkey
retain
Kong
that little
theme.
vestige. It does, in fact.
All the Kremlings and all that kind of shit.
Here's my question of the week for you. We know that the Nintendo Cinematic Universe is about to absolutely explode. Just the barn doors are about to completely be blown
It's about to
straight
just
off.
nut.
But the fact of the matter is we can't just pitch any old Nintendo franchise we made into a movie. Star Fox, that series sells barely anything. Animal Crossing, probably kind of boring. We don't need one. There also already was an Animal Crossing movie that was only released in Japan, and it was perfect, so don't need to bother with
And
that.
It was perfect.
The way I see it, we need to pitch Nintendo movies that are based on things that everybody enjoys watching, that everybody enjoys experiencing, that are immensely popular and come out at a fairly frequent pace, which is why we need to make a Nintendo Direct movie for us, the Nintendo fans. What is the plot of the Nintendo Direct movie? Who are its heroes and villains? And who will portray them?
Okay. Kirby, because everybody loves eating. They love watching cooking shows. They love watching fucking Joey Fatone eating hot dogs. What's the guy who eats the Nathan's hot dogs and wins all the time?
Joey Chestnut.
Joey Chestnut. That's it. It's a Kirby movie about eating and food.
Okay. So hold on, just so I'm clear, it's Kirby and Joey Chestnut, or is Kirby portrayed by Joey Chestnut?
No, people love watching Joey Chestnut fill his face with dogs. And so they will relate it to the movie where they watch Kirby fill his face with everything. Including enemies.
Okay. So we got Kirby as our hero. Does he have a sidekick, like a love interest, like all good movies do?
Waddle Dee is his sidekick with a bandana.
Okay.
And his love interest that he is all about is actually crossover universe thing. Kirby has a little star that he rides in on. Oh, I forgot the balloons. There we go, balloons. It is one of the Lumis from Super Mario universe. Rosalina's little star Lumis.
The Lumas.
Lumas, that's it, yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. In fact, it's specifically the one who's just like, death is wonderful, whatever, from the cages from the Super Mario movie.
Okay. I appreciate the little bit of crossover there. Who is Kirby and the Luma fighting? Remember, this is a Nintendo Direct movie, so we need to somehow tie it into the experience of watching a Nintendo Direct.
Adam, I've done all the heavy lifting so far, so I'll let you answer this one.
My whole thing. So Cozy had a question, and he was about making a Nintendo Direct movie, and you were like, "I'm going to make a movie about Kirby."
Well,
Did
Kirby
misunderstand the question?
Kirby is our entry point. That's how we view it. Like whenever they have an idiotic character as the main character in a book, so that people who have normal brains reading it can understand what's going on because we're seeing it through their point of view. That's what we're doing with Kirby. We as Americans love fucking stuffing our faces with cake, and we're gonna watch this. It's a Kirby-centric movie because we're like, I identify with that fat fuck. And then, how does this then relate to a Nintendo Direct?
Okay, this feels like a podcast question prompt because which made no sense. Here's my idea.
Okay.
My assumption is,
we're just changing everything now. We're not just adding on.
I didn't agree to your pitch.
We're not yes anding. We're saying no, but.
Here's what I want to do. I'm doing the prompt, which was asked by Cozy.
Okay.
The idea is that, hear me out on this. We do a dramatic biopic on the first Nintendo Direct, right? We cast actors as behind the scene business people, and they're like, this E3 thing just isn't working out, but how do we, and it's near the end of the Wii U era, they're like, man, our business is failing, we've got one way to try to save the company, and we've got to do this direct to the customer kind of a thing, and then you just put Michael Fassbender as Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Ooh, can I do you one better?
Go for it.
One of the most iconic Nintendo Directs that still to this day continues to stick in my mind is the emergency Nintendo Direct that they did shortly after the launch of the Wii U, where they were like, oh no, nobody's buying our console. We have to put out this Direct where we tease a bunch of games that are still years and years away. And so they showed off Xenoblade Chronicles X. They showed off Yoshi's Woolly World. Because I feel like that adds a real sense of urgency of shit, this ship is sinking. Can we save it? Can we manage to resuscitate this thing that we, the audience, know is doomed to ultimately fail?
Here's
just
the twist.
When you get to the end of the movie, and you're like, oh, damn, this is not the movie I thought it was going to be. Boom, the screen fucking goes in on itself. Kirby's behind the screen sucking it in. He, through his powers of absorption, becomes Miyamoto. He gets a little Miyamoto hat. And then Kirby is Miyamoto falling in love with Luma out there eating food and shit.
I was going to we mix our business, drama biopic with this Kirby eating stuff idea, make it into one movie.
D's there too.
Absolutely.
With a bandana.
And this is the pitch. This is what you asked for, I suppose. I was on Fantasy Critic putting your games in while you were saying the entire thing, so I think this is correct.
Yeah.
Now, there is one more thing that we have to answer, though, which is who will portray all these characters. Now, to keep things simple, let's say that our actors are Kirby, Waddle Dee, Luma from the Mario Bros. Movie, and let's just say that for the Nintendo Directy, like business drama stuff, you have like Shinya Takahashi, which is like one of the Japanese dudes that appears on screen, and Shigeru Miyamoto. So we got those five people.
Let me save you a lot of time, Alex. In the 90s and early 2000s, we did this thing where one person plays all the roles. Eddie Murphy did it. Mike Myers did it. We get Melissa McCarthy to play the fucking Waddle Dee, to play Kirby, to play whoever the person is that's speaking at. Melissa McCarthy is everyone in this movie, including the Luma. And this is like 10% a joke, but 90% real.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right.
And it's all live action. No CGI. All prosthetics.
This movie's going to do so good.
Oh, I want to see this realized.
I think we have a movie. And
that
brings
until like AI gets to a point where we can literally just feed it this episode and it gives us the trailer to this movie.
Ready?
Oh man, talk about the trailer. Talk about the whole movie itself. Like that'll probably only take a couple minutes of processing, like 10 minutes from now. All right. And that brings us to the end of Cozy
McCarthy in a giant prosthetic Kirby.
And that brings us to the end of Cozy's question of the week. Sing me out, Chad.
Oh, we're not the KKK. That's it. That's the song.
No, we're not.
Okay, it's time for Game On Game Show. The Game On Gaming Show, we play a game called Game On, the gaming show on a game show. Game. This one's a quick one. We're going to play a game called Gifties. These are games from this year. Here's the background on it. There's a lot of talk and prestige around GOTYs, Games of the Year contenders. There's a lot of love thrown around for Pody GOTYs, potential Games of the Year. But we are a society that needs to give participation awards. We are fragile. We need to coddle ourselves. We need to give participation awards. So we are going to give a generic award just called You Are a Game That Came Out This Year. Games from this year. Gifty. GFTY. Now to make this game happen, I have here 12 games that, from what I can tell, are not noteworthy, that were released in January. We're just doing January 2023 this year. So 12 games that were released in January 2023. Some of them are real games. Some of them are horseshit games that I made up. And so what I would love for you all to do is I'm going to read you the name of the game, and you just tell me whether this deserves a participation award for being real or whether it is a fake game.
Ooh, okay.
Now these range the console, PC. There is a mobile game on here too, so just like keep that in mind. That's what we're dealing with. And this is January 2023.
Yeah.
So we're going to go back and forth on this. That isn't even number, so there could be a tie, but we're going to go back and forth. And I'm going to start with Adam, because Alex beat me in that game. So Adam, what I want you to do is pick a number 1 to 12. This is a way for me to keep it random, so it's not like me front loading questions. So 1 to 12. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This game is called Alice Escaped! With an exclamation point. Is this a real game that we should give a gifty to, or is this some horseshit?
That is a Gifty Award winner, if I would say so myself.
Final answer?
Hold on. Are we both answering?
Only me. No.
It's only Adam. It's only Adam.
Yeah, no, it's for real. That deserves an award.
That is correct. That is a Metroidvania on Switch and PC.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
The exclamation point gave it away.
Yep. All right, Alex, pick a number 1 through 12 that's not 7.
3.
This game is Gray's Counter GM.
Gray's Counter GM. Is the GM part like is like an abbreviation for something, or is it just the letters G and M?
I will tell you it is G and M, no spaces between, both capitalized, no punctuation.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that it's a real participation award thing, because I think that if you made it up, you would have added the little periods at the end of the G and the M to make sure it's an abbreviation.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Gray's Counter GM gets a gifty because it is a real shoot 'em up and it's on basically everything. All right, Adam. 1 through
Yeah.
12. It's not 3 or 7.
8.
8. This one's called Backfire Wall. All one word. Backfire Wall.
I'm going to say that's not getting an award because it's not real.
Final answer?
Yep.
That does get a gifty. Backfire Wall is real. It's an adventure game on everything but Switch.
Okay.
All right, Alex. 1 through 12.
1.
1. Aquatico. Aquatico.
Aquatico.
Aquatico.
I'm going to say that this one is a big, fat fake.
Final answer?
Yes.
I'm sorry, this game does get a gifty. It is a game from this year.
Oh.
City building game on PC.
I was about to say, it's like a restaurant like 2 blocks over from Chad's house or some shit.
All right, I'm not keeping score. Hopefully you all are. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Adam,
Give me number 2.
Number 2. This game is called Children of Silent Town.
Ooh, that sounds real enough. Sure.
So you're giving
That could
me
be
a
real.
gifty?
Yeah, sure. It deserves an award.
Final answer?
Yeah.
That gifty is well given because, yes, it is a dark adventure game, and it is on everything. Silent
I cannot
Town, by
wait
the
to
way,
ask
is
you
one
how
T.
you found out about this shit.
Just wait. Alex, you're up. 1 through 12.
Let's go 12.
12. This game is called... This game is called Porks. Just wait till you see the box art. Porks. It's spelled orcs with a P at the beginning.
You literally just said, wait until you see the box art. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this is deserving of a participation trophy.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
That is incorrect.
Got that ass.
I made that up. I want that. I want that to be a game, though. Just orcs that are also pigs is called porks.
So not a bad name.
Adam. Pick a
Yeah.
number.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this is a good game for you. Tortuga, A Pirate's Tale.
Oh. I'm going to say that deserves an award. I know that there is a game called Tortuga, which is like a management like pirate game, but I don't know if that specific one is real, but I'll just say it's real.
Final answer?
Yeah, sure.
That is correct. It is a strategy adventure game on everything.
Yeah, I've seen those games.
All right. Alex,
What do we got left?
we have 5, 6, and 9, 10, 11.
Let's go at 11.
Number 11. Charismatic. But it's spelled charisma-dick. Charismatic.
Chad's really good at making himself laugh, so I wouldn't put it past him for him to have created this one in particular, but I'm going to say that there's a developer out there that had the courage, the audacity to make a game that was actually called Charismatic.
Is
And
that
I'm
your
going to
final
say
answer?
that it's deserving of a participation trophy, yes.
That is all me, baby.
Oh, man.
I can't wait for the sequel, Riz Dick.
Ah.
Okay, Adam, we've got 4 left.
5.
5. Maho Kenshi.
Let's say that it's real. That's a mobile game from China.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
It is deserving of a gifty because it is a strategy deck building game for PC.
Oh, okay.
Alex, we've got 3 left. Would you
10.
like number 6, number 9, or number 10?
Yeah, 10.
10 is Woolen Moon. Woolen Moon.
I'm on a real losing streak here. Whatever. I'm just going to... Some of these have to be real. I'm going to say that it's real, and that's my lock.
Final answer?
Yeah.
That is incorrect. I made that one up. That one is me. Woolen Moon is all me.
Are you specifically feeding me fake games because you're upset about the fact that you lost another one of these Rafferty rounds?
Adam, we have either
6.
number 6 or number 9. Nice.
Yeah, give me
Which
6.
one?
6, 9. 6.
All right, this one, another good Adam one. Devolver Tumble Time.
Oh, that is real. That is a mobile game.
You final answer?
Yeah, absolutely.
That is correct, yes. Devolver Tumble Time is a real tile matching game on mobile.
Yeah.
All right, Alex, the last one, number 9. Vanguard R Reimagined Edition. I will tell you, Vanguard is spelled with a Z.
Somehow I feel like I can't win this one.
No.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that it's real.
Final answer?
Yes.
That is incorrect. I made up Vanguard R Reimagined. Here's the thing. I forgot to shuffle these, so 1 through 8 are all real, and 9 through 12 are all fake. And you just happened to pick the last ones.
You picked all of the fake ones.
Yeah.
Oh
Wow.
my god.
Yeah, I just went to, don't look at this, because this is a game that's going to return
Okay.
in the future, but like I just went to, well, we'll have to look at these anyway, because we're talking about goatees soon. But yeah, I just went to Wikipedia's release of all video
Release
games
this
this
year?
year and just picked some weird-ass names that I had never recognized before.
Wow. I had 5 correct. How many did you have correct, Cozy?
I think 1, maybe?
Charismatic, y'all. And Porks. Fuck, those are good.
Those are good. Those sound like they could be real.
Yeah. Well, that's it for Game on Game Show, and that is it for episode 323 of Respawn Aim Fire. You have homework as a listener. Your homework is to go to your house or anywhere, really, because you have a Nintendo Switch, and you can play Super Mario Bros. U on your Switch, or you can play it any room in your house on your Wii U. That's our barf game for the month. That's our
Also on the Switch.
You can play it on your Wii U gamepad on the Switch. It's our barf game, which is our backlog accomplishment with Respawn and Friends game that we do once a month that is inspired by your choices over at patreon.com/respawnaimfire. That's where you can go to vote every single month. You can also go there to get exclusive access for a month to our monthly game show series. Right now, if you are a patron over at patreon.com/respawnaimfire, you get access to a special episode of Rafferty, starring Jacob McCourt and Lukewarm Lewis. I almost said Willis. Lukewarm Lewis over from Crossplay Conversations. They were on our show. So you have access to that before everyone else does. If you are not a patron, you can still enjoy access to that a month late. So we have fun, interesting, noteworthy, not that the other ones aren't noteworthy, but like really good guests as well. Like surprising good guests on the next one too. So you really want to be a patron for October. Oh man, I laughed really hard at Charismatic, y'all.
It was good. Charisma dick. I like it.
Yeah, Charisma Dick. I laughed really hard. Anyway, Engage Family Gaming. Long time no see out there in the chat. Audio is working on my Twitch stream on my side. Maybe you're broken on the inside, but we would love to have you over here on our podcast again. I think that's it for updates and announcements, etc., etc. Oh, go watch our Venba Barf episode, which we put up last week. That is with Luke as well from Crossplay Conversations. That is up. And that's it. Alex, thank you so much for your non-KKK segment this week. Can you tell us if people want to go see more pictures or activity from your Dixie Kong Palace, where can they find you elsewhere?
You can find me over on Twitter at Alex Kazina, ALEXKOZINA.
Thank you. I also just realized I audibly told Engage Family Gaming that the audio is not broken, and then he can't hear it because the audio is broken for him. Dope. That's it, everyone. Until next time, here's our usual sign off. Fucking somebody make porks. Somebody make porks.